Hey, what's up everybody? BDF 44 coming at you with another video. Alright, so because it's a little more windy, I decided to finally pull this out the suitcase. Used to wear this all the time back in Lennox, but I ain't worn it at all. It's on this side of town, but we're dealing with wind and I'm happy about it. I'd rather it be like this than cold, or rather it be like this than hot. But yeah, man, I gotta get myself some socks today. That's one thing I want to do while I'm out. Find myself a Ross or some type of place like that and grab myself some little $7 socks, because the ones that I'm wearing have holes in them. And the other ones, I only got like 3 pairs. So it's a good time to go invest in some socks, man. I just kind of been rotating the same pair, but right now these things got holes in the heels. I just put on the wrong socks this morning. Probably flip them around opposite when I get a chance to sit down. But these are going in the trash today if I have any choice about it. So yeah, man, these are probably too much information, but I don't hold back nothing. I tell the truth. What else is going on? I'm headed to this place on Vine, the mental health place. Remember I was, I think it might be actually that red building that I showed y'all, that I said I like a red building over there on Vine in Hollywood. If y'all go check out the video, Vine Street. My therapist yesterday, I didn't make a therapy session after I had my therapist speak with me, but she did tell me that, she thinks I should probably find another therapist, more or less, that is close, so that I can have some in-person conversations rather than this phone crap. Because it's kind of hard to assess somebody over the phone. It's hard for me to get what I need when I'm not in person, and she's just flat out too far away. I'm not in that area no more, but she does have some stuff for me. I just got something said that a lottery housing something, somebody sent me something in regards to lottery housing. I'll get back to them, but she had a place over on Vine, and of course that place over on Vermont and off of Wilshire as well, available for me. So I planned on going over that area anyway, so I might go to both today. See which one of these therapists I like. So that's my mission. The Vines place is closed up at 5, but they only allow walk-ins till 2. So that's why I'm getting out now. It's about 10 o'clock or a little before that. So yeah, just taking some initiative on my mental health, man. I want the therapy help that I need. I need somebody to assess my head properly, and I also want to be eligible for my SSI. So I need to have more people take a look at me, and I can't be having therapists holler at me once every 3 weeks. That's not what I need, man. So I'm gonna take some initiative and just be open-minded about doing some things for myself that need to be done. Not waiting for things to happen, but going to make them happen. And that's what this is. This is me stepping out. She told me about that yesterday. Normally in the past, I'd take 2 and 3 weeks to check something like this out. Not anymore. Not anymore. She told me about it yesterday. I'm going today. So we did set up another appointment later on in the month to speak with her, but I should be gone from her by then. I should have a new therapist by then, and they don't allow you to have 2, because I guess the explanation is that they don't want to give up your information to too many people, so they only want one therapist to have your information at a time, that kind of thing. So I'm just gonna roll with that and move in my own direction in regards to trying to find something that's a bit better for me, and hopefully with that get the help that I'm looking for. Try to get some real support for my situation. Maybe they have some housing help as well. That's what the lady was telling me, that the one on Vine may have something. So I'm gonna go. I believe in myself. When it really comes down to it, I was telling God I want to make some things happen that I was afraid to make happen in the past, because I've learned to trust you more and trust me more. With the strength that I've displayed in these difficulties, to my own self, I've seen a reason for me to try. From the consistency that I've been able to find, fighting my own laziness, so to speak, fighting my own weaknesses, getting through some difficulties that unprecedented stuff from my own little life, having to apply faith in areas and seeing it work out. I have a different mindset about moving in a direction that works for me. I'm not as afraid of the little things that get in the way. I'm not. I'm ready to make things happen. I ain't ready to work, but I'm ready to get ready, if that makes any sense. I'm ready to get back into a space where I'm doing the things that put me in a position to get my mind right. Yeah, it's a whole TV sitting there. This type of things. It's like I may not be ready to work, but I'm ready to try to take steps toward getting back to work. And so if that's what the Lord wants me to do, I'm happy to do it. Because now I know I can ask him to customize me for what it is that I have yet to want to do. So I was telling y'all on one of the therapy sessions randomly last week, I ain't really want to do any of these things, but I know now I can ask God to help me want to, put me in a position so that the things that ultimately I'm looking at, I can look at better or differently or however that's supposed to go. So that's the type of faith that I'm walking in right now. I'm open-minded to God changing my mind about new things that need to be done to help my situation so that I don't have to keep staying in the same loop with the same results, same way going forward. And I don't want to be in the same place next year that I'm in right now. I'm tired of having to ask my uncle to give me money for my situation and always having the anxiety about whether or not he's going to say yes this time. I'm sick of him putting him in that situation when they got other things they could be doing with their money other than taking care of their 40-year-old nephew. Like this, it gets to a point where it's like enough. If I can help myself, damn it, let's do it. I don't want to work, but I sure know where I can get to somewhere that can help me with that. You know what I mean? I'm waiting on GR. GR ain't came. I did everything I'm supposed to do for the GR. They still ain't gave me my money. Okay, well, let's go get some mental health help. Let's go find another therapist that can reiterate whatever the hell is wrong with me is wrong with me. Let's go get somewhere where maybe they can help me talk through some things I ain't talked through yet, so I can get back to work if GR ain't coming. Whatever the hell is going to be, I'm ready to be ready. I ain't ready, but I'm ready to do what I need to do to get ready. And so that's what I'm about right now. I'm tired. I'm tired of sitting around waiting for stuff to happen. It ain't coming. I tell you, that's exactly the type of energy I'm walking with right now. I'm sick of waiting on stuff. So when you get tired enough, you do something about it. That's what my mother always said. When you're sick of something, you're going to do something about it. And so that's what this is me doing something about it. I'm going to go down to this mental health place on Vine and see what they're talking about. And try to get myself some socks, maybe try to get myself some body wash since that's running out too. You know, little stuff that I need. I'm gonna take care of in this day as I'm out here. And you know, I'm thankful my homegirl Kay is talking to me again. You know, she's doing the best she can to stay proactive in communicating. I'm very proud of her for that. You know what I mean? I don't have any doubt that she means well. It's not like I think she's trying to set me up to let me down on purpose. She's going through it and she's trying to break through it because she sees our friendship is worth it. And for me, I feel the same way. If she needs me to not hear from her for a couple of days, that's me doing the same thing for her that she's doing for me. I'm not going to give her hell for not talking for the next 3 days if she don't want to talk. Because that's how I show her that her mind matters. You know, what she going through and how she feels matters too. You showing me I matter, you matter too. You need to stay away. You ain't feeling it today. I can do more now. I can do more than I was able to last week in regards to letting her have her space. I can stay out of her inbox a little more, a lot more. Shoot, as bad as I was going, because she showed me that it matters to her, that I felt like I'm involved in her circumstance to the best of her ability, and it matters to me that she feels safe and comfortable away from me as she sees fit. In other words, if I could have not spazzed out last week and left her to her own devices comfortably without my insecurity in the way, I'd have been happy to make that sacrifice for her. I just couldn't do it. You understand what I'm saying? I couldn't do it. I was spazzing. But that didn't mean that I felt like she didn't deserve her space away from me. Her ability to reset and resurface comfortably. I didn't never think that she didn't deserve that. So, you know what I mean? That's what I'm trying. I want her to understand that. Like, I'm more likely to be more comfortable with her silence this week than I was last week because she gave me a little more for myself and my mind. We're just helping each other through our mental health problems. Or I perceive my mental health problems. I don't know if she sees it that way. You know? And that's what I was telling her. Like, I'm going to go get help for myself right now. I'm going to go take myself to this place and I'm going to be proactive in making sure that my perception of life is fine. That I'm not giving you something that you can't use from me. That I'm not giving myself energy that I can't do anything with. in regards to being overzealous and asking for others to do for me what they can't do to make me feel better. I don't need that. They don't need that. That's not how I love friends. That's not how they love me. If she's telling me she needs me to be quiet for a couple days while she reset, I want my mind to be able to let that happen and not give her hell for that. And so that's what it is, man. I'm hopeful that in my way of doing things, I can grow from here. Not doing well, man. Thank you. And then growing from here, putting myself in a position to elevate from here. Yeah, I'm on rock bottom, but rock bottom holds weight. Why? Because it gives you more patience to wait. It gives you more proactivity to move. It gives you more respect for those who are in the same position later on. And I was telling God, man, you know what I equally want on top of getting out of this situation? To never be prone to fall back into this situation. I don't want him to just pull me out of this so I can reset back to life the way it was. I want to take all the stuff that I've gained from these hard times and keep it with me later on, so I'm more likely to keep the good that's coming. I want to be strong enough to fall back into these spaces and have the faith that I have right now if for some reason we got to start this all over again. That's the type of resilience that I'm hoping to receive. Not to say that I'm having any desire to fall back into these spaces after getting out of it, but to know that because I've gotten through it, I can not only get through whatever it is that I'm going through next, but I can have the faith necessary to apply new faith for some reason the faith that I have isn't strong enough then, because that's what this was. I had to find new faith. I already believed in God, but I needed to believe in him differently in order to get through what I just got through these last 2 months. I need to believe harder. I needed to apply faith in some more uncertainty than what I was used to. It wasn't just enough to say, oh, God got me and see all the comfort of my life around me. Now I had to see that things were uncertain. I could be homeless. I could be on the street tonight. But I believed in God. I took the steps to face my fears in whatever the circumstance, and I was able to overcome. So if things get worse, that application of truth in regards to my own faith can be applied to the next circumstance if for some reason I need to believe differently, if I need to believe harder, if I need to be more uncertain for some reason, I can overcome that uncertainty and still apply the faith necessary to win this battle, whatever it may be. To be better, not just to get better and have better come to me, but to be better so that I can live more righteously in his eyes. It ain't enough to just get myself out of the situation. I don't ever want to fall back into it, and I don't want to ever not be able to get out of it if I were to. Life can wear you down. You can get tired, exhausted. Here we go through this again. But that for which will allow you not to quit in those circumstances is what I'm looking for. And I ain't got it yet. It ain't there yet. I still feel prone to make some of the same decisions that I made before getting in this situation if I were to get out of this situation. Maybe not the exact same way, but too close for comfort. Still feel tempted by some of the old stuff, even though it ain't in my life right now. If somebody gave me $6 million, I'm not certain I would make all the right decisions from there. I don't know if I would to learn to respect what I just went through as much. If 6 months into that, I'd probably get right back to the old, I'm comfortable, let's play video games for 5 hours or whatever the hell type of childishness. I don't want to be even have any remnants of that in my life anymore. We're in a new space, having gone through new stuff. All of it was hard. All of it required me to be more faithful. All of it required for me to believe in God differently, stronger, be more mature, redefine what maturity means in my own heart, put up with other people's different things and not feel as bad about my aspects of in their life or whatever. All of that required more out of me than what I was ever asked to apply before. And even though we went through hard times, me and my mom, I did go through her cancer situation, ultimately her passing. That required a new level of faith from what I was used to up until that point. I was kicked out of the condo and had to apply faith that God was going to straighten it out. But it took more to get through what I'm going through. And it's going to take more to get out of it. So that's what I'm asking for. I'm like, man, it ain't enough to just be cool and get out of this situation and say thank you. Give me what I need so that when I'm in these situations ever again, if I ever find myself in a situation where I have to apply even more faith, you'll have me strong enough to do that. So that's what it is, man. Trying to get my mind right. I was gonna show y'all him because he was up here screaming and hollering and singing and stuff. I don't know what's going on with that dude. But what I'm not gonna do is not have a good look at his face on camera just in case he tries some craziness with me. At any rate, as I always say, me walking down the street with a camera in my face ain't just about talking to y'all. It ain't. It's somewhat of a defense mechanism as well. Can't tell you how many people get out of my way. This camera, can't tell you how many people get out of my damn way. They don't want no parts of this. They don't know if it's live stream or not. And they don't want to be seen doing whatever the hell they doing. And they less likely to do anything because their face ain't covered up. So these type of things that I just understand instinctually that work for me. Plus, I like to speak with y'all when I'm walking down the street. I get some good ideas when I do that. So, yeah, man, but at the end of the day, what I'm hoping to find now is exactly what I'm looking for. Some mental health help, some support for my living situation so that I can transition out of this into something that'll give me not only living quarters, but also furniture in this situation. So I don't have to live on the floor for the first couple of weeks or whatever the time it is. I'm gonna have my new place. I've been fortunate enough to have a bed every night. Even throughout all these circumstances that sucked, I had a bed every night. So I'm thankful for that. But yeah, my therapy session with Tanya went well. Yesterday I was on the way home. I made a little 2-minute video and she called me, so you'll see that. Essentially, she was just asking me how I was doing, where I was living, asking me if I had been able to continue showering and eating regularly. I promise you, man, my mental health does not work in that way. My mental health concerns do not keep me from showering or any of that. For those who would ever wonder, it does not, man. I need to shower before I even get into bed. If anything, that's how my mental health works. I ain't gonna be sleeping comfortable if I don't have my shower, if I don't brush my teeth. Those are things I must do. So if people are wondering if I'm okay in that way, I'm always okay in that way. That's not a thing for me. That's not how my brain struggles at all. Showers and eating and stuff like that. I mean, that's a strength of mine. Eating, if anything, my mental health makes it so that I never want to eat McDonald's, so that I never want to eat any damn thing. No cheat meals lately. That's how my obsession works right now. Not the other way around. And God bless everybody who struggles in any way, man, because the struggles that I have are strong enough in their own way to bother and deter some of the things that I ultimately want to do. But now when it comes to me taking care of my hygiene or walking around cleaning my clothes every week, that type of stuff gets done, man. Cleaning sheets every week, that stuff gets done. We don't have those problems. So for anybody who's wondering, that ain't one of them. As long as I'm able to consciously be myself, in this life, this body will be clean, these teeth will be brushed, these clothes will be clean. You know what I'm saying? I'm likely wanting to exercise since those habits are firmly worked into my life nowadays. There's always going to be things that I expect will be normal in my life, so long as I'm completely myself. So there's a lot that comes with that. I've been fortunate enough for people to be able to help me. I've been able to have circumstances where that shower's there and all of that. But as far as I can help it, I'm going to be showered, I'm going to be fed, I'm going to be cleaning clothes. Those things are, I'm going to smell good, that type of stuff is going to be in my life. That's just what it's going to be. I used to be the guy that used to call gum bee. Why? Because I always had gum in my mouth to protect against bad breath. That's who I used to be. I don't do that no more because you start having issues with your dental when you start doing that. Plus, it's too much sugar a lot of times. My body don't like sugar. But I'm conscious of those things. Deodorant, all that, it's going to be on, man. You don't have those problems. So yeah, man. Therapy session, as I was saying, it went well. We didn't talk for longer than like 10 minutes. I was able to tell her how things had gone. I told her how I was dealing with the situation where the lady friend I was talking to went ghost on me, and how that had me kind of down, but I was able to overcome that by leaving the house. And I told her all about going out, doing these videos and stuff like that, trying to keep myself as active as humanly possible with going places and stuff like that. So, you know, winning these battles against my laziness. I told her that's what yesterday was all about. From the moment I woke up, I didn't have the energy to do the things that I ultimately needed to do, but I forced myself to do them anyway, and was very pleased with that. So, you know, I felt like I'm handling all these situations about as well as I can. You know, and I have a lot to be happy about in that regard. So that's what it is, just letting her understand that some of the struggles that maybe she's dealing with other people may not be the ones I have. But I do struggle with what I struggle with. But it ain't the type of stuff that's going to make sure that I'm taking care of myself or not taking care of myself. So maybe I'm not crazy enough to be considered crazy, but that's just because people's science hasn't caught up to what it is that a struggle really is in these type of situations. That's what I say. Just because you don't see me as mentally ill doesn't mean that your science got it correct. I'm struggling with stuff that I know is not supposed to be struggled with. And so that's just what it comes down to. I don't see too many people living in the situation I'm in, capable of getting a job, not getting one. I don't see that. People who could tell you what the ills were of not getting an education and still refuse to go to school. Now I don't see too much of that. Self-awareness, self-control, and all of those different things are in place. But when it comes to convincing myself to do stuff I don't want to do, I don't have no real hold on that, you know. But just the same, I have strengths that other people don't have in certain cases to make up for that. So I just live with myself and hope to God that the Lord sees fit to continue to give me what I need so that I can maintain my most basic needs until I have a control over that. So far, so good. So that's what it is, man. I'm aging. I don't feel like my age necessarily. Now when I'm getting up doing 4 sets of 80 squats and then 1,000 squats after that or more with the 8-pound weights in my hand, like certain things I do that I just don't think if I had my quote unquote head on straight I would even do in a positive way. This workout I do, that ain't normal. Most people are doing other things that mix up their workouts. They're not sitting there staring at a wall for 8 hours, for an hour and a half, 2 hours. They're not doing that. So at this point in time, I look at the situation and I say to myself, I'm thankful for the struggles that I have if they're going to make it so that I'm more disciplined in working out, more disciplined in getting exercise, more disciplined in communicating with y'all and being an artist. If I can do 700 playlists, 8,000 art pieces, you know what I'm saying? If that's what the problem is, that's a good problem to have. So that's what I think also is contributing thing to all of it. So that's what I'm telling you guys. As I move the way I move, there's some strengths that come with this mental illness. And that's why you'll see so much footage up here of my reality over the last 3 years. Because I'm that consistent in that way. I think what I really am starting to learn is that a lot of what it is that I do, others can incorporate into their lives and probably be pleased with the results of doing it that way. If y'all would eat the way I eat, you'd probably be better. If you exercise the way I exercise, you'd have better knees and better back. You know, if y'all outlet in natural ways with art as consistently as I do, you'd probably be pleased with how your progress comes. It's a lot of stuff that just comes with me that I'm fine with. It's just the need to make money and the need to move along with other people's algorithms that I don't align with, that ultimately leaves me struggling in today's world. But if the whole world moved like me, you'd probably be healthier. You'd be healthier the mind in certain ways. You'd be healthier the body in certain ways. And your spirit would definitely be healthier because of how I meditate. So if anything, I just think I'm a new template. A template that many have yet to experience. And if they were to study it, probably would make what sanity is a bit different as we define it. Instead of the sanity that we are into, drinking poison and going towards Zionist companies that feed us a bunch of stuff that we really don't need, that's meant to deteriorate our bodies from the inside out, going toward their propaganda that's meant to make us turn our heads away from children dying and stuff like that as they kill them. Like, that's what sanity is defined as. And I'm above it in my own mind. I believe I am. I ain't sitting there watching ads on television during your football game. Like, some of that stuff I don't need. You don't need it either. It's the imbalance of an evil culture that's in place, put there by people that are clearly, as of 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, the most evil human beings in the world. They have divine sanity for you. You're gonna work on their dime, work on their schedule, move as they want you to move. And all of the evils in this world are likely coming from people who are doing these very things in our faces, telling us this is what sanity is, as they pretend like it's okay to kill children in the nighttime and terrorize them and put piss all over their walls and stuff. And this crazy demonic shit that I've seen in my lifetime with the crazy demonic woman that did what she did to me. They're doing some of the same stuff in much more elaborately and terrible ways to those kids on a massive scale. That's why I know evil when I see it. Like, oh, that's evil. And I told y'all what Connie did to me, taking dog doo-doo and putting it on the walls, putting it on my toys, you know what I'm saying, and blaming it on me, saying that I did it. Told the babysitter that I did it. And now I look up and I see what Israel's doing to these people, putting piss on their walls, blaming them for their own problems, saying it's Hamas. It's the same shit. It's just in a much worse way. They're doing it to them. This is what evil does in many ways to children. Always want to terrorize them, make them worse, get them started off on the wrong path so that they end up being terrorists or whatever the hell you want to call them. Like, this is how it happens. They do this type of shit to them. So when I see it on a different scale, in a different way, I know it's the same demon. It came from the same devil's brain. Same brain. Same mindset, same creativity or lack thereof, as I like to tell y'all, because devil ain't no creative. This is why we seeing the same stuff. So yeah, I feel differently as I look up and I see them say, oh, we got a 4-hour pause. The U.S. has negotiated a 4-hour pause to the strikes. You're striking children. You know, you're not striking enemy lines. You're striking daycare centers and the equivalent of. You're striking hospitals. And it's like 4-hour pause. The fact that you think I would celebrate a 4-hour pause from terrorizing children, effectively annihilating children, and you think I'm going for that, that just further speaks how far away you are out of touch of what actually real good is. Goodness doesn't lobby for 4-hour pauses from the deterioration of a child's life and mind. That's not something I'm going to see as a win-win. The only win there is putting an end to that permanently and putting an end to those who do it. That's the only thing that you should be doing. Talking about 4-hour pauses. 4-hour pauses from from terrorizing children? For real? That's what I think is a good thing. Huh? That's what we're supposed to be celebrating. I guess that's supposed to make it so that we see you as the same way we saw you before you did this. 4-hour pauses. Meanwhile, y'all arresting people in your own country. Arresting people in your own damn country. Who likely don't want nothing but to support a ceasefire. They saying that they are a part of a terrorist group. You are the terrorists, which is what is exactly going on there. They are the terrorists, and whatever opposes them, they're going to define as terrorism, which is what evil always do. They did the same thing with Black Lives Matter. But Black Lives Matter is offensive to the people who don't believe Black Lives Matter. It's like, this is the same devil. Like, I'm telling y'all, it's the same devil. No matter how many different applications he put the same shit, it's the same thing. It's always the same thing. It's always some gaslighting or some unanimous agreement to make the people who see it feel as if they're not sane because what they're seeing is not how everybody around them is acting. Keyword acting. Dystopian nonsense like we're seeing from our celebrities. Oh, this ain't happening. Don't worry about it. You're not seeing what you're seeing, and we're not going to acknowledge those who are seeing it because they're crazy and we don't acknowledge that. It's like, okay, but like I said, we're seeing it. So you can behave that way. You're the ones that are crazy. But if you have enough of y'all acting crazy, it's going to be, you hope that enough people will start wondering if they're crazy for seeing what they're seeing. Maybe if you just all act like you don't see it, then I, the only person who's acknowledging what I see, will then walk away and say, yeah, there's something wrong with me. Problem is, you can't do that when the whole world is saying the same thing and you're the only group that's acting like you don't see it. It's the power of God. You don't get to do that shit when everybody's watching. And so this is what it is, man. Just looking at the devil do the same old thing over and over again in different ways, whether it be in my life or their lives or in this person's life or on some massive scale or some tiny scale. It's all the same thing, all the same tactics, all the same loser. And you're going to try to will us into believing things that aren't true, disturb us enough to ruin our own thing. It's always something that has to do with your energy being used against you, some judo-ass way. It doesn't work. Not if you are focused on what it is that's actually happening and your humanity is leading the way. If your humanity and your compassion is leading the way, you're going to be able to have the confidence that what you see is what you see, regardless of how everybody else is looking. Regardless of what it is they are willing to acknowledge or not. Regardless of what they want to write into laws as fact or not. Regardless of how they want to define evil or not. What's evil opposes me. No, you're evil, and that is exactly why you would allow yourself to believe that bullshit. It's exactly why. Whatever opposes me is anti. No, you are anti. So of course, in being anti, you're going to have an opposition that is coming against you, and therefore you're going to name them terrorists. They are terrorists because they're trying to keep you from terrorizing people. So therefore they oppose you. So you get to apply what you are to them. It's funny how they say, oh, they killed the headless baby. No, you are actually the ones killing the babies. You looked at what you did and then said they did that. You bombed yourself and then you said they bombed you. They disassociate themselves with the evil that they do because they can't stand for themselves to see themselves, and they can't stand for you to see them do it. But they also can't stand for you not to see them do it because they have to do it while you're watching. See how confused it is? The devil's a confused individual. It's confusion. They won't take credit for what they do, but at the same time, they definitely don't want you to give them credit for what they do. It's like, what the heck? We didn't do it. Yeah, we did. It's Hamas. And then they proceed to put a flag on the beach that they've stolen from these people. But if it was about the hostages, why aren't y'all going to get the hostages? Y'all sitting up there singing the national anthem with your evil flag up. You know what I'm saying? Like, what the hell is that? And they got all these people that in their back pocket. All these evil people in their back pocket all over the world saying it's illegal to oppose them. I'm going to oppose you anyway. Because I know that your laws are meant to make it so that you're able to break laws. Things that should otherwise be in place to keep us safe from you, the terrorists, the actual terrorists. And since you control the laws and get to define what is terrorism, you think anything that opposes you is terrorism as we speak in circles. Not going to do it. I'm not going to play that game with you like I don't believe in God. I know God exists. I have the right to act as if God exists and proceed to oppose his enemies. I have that right. Whether you write that in the law today or not. Because he exists, that right is in me. That's how that has to go. When it comes down to it, you can't allow people to tell you what right and wrong is if they're going to do wrong and they proceed to define wrong as anything that opposes them from doing that wrong. Your compassion leads the way, not whatever their law is that day. And so that's what I'm telling people, man. I don't think anybody should let them feel like they can do what they do and get away with it. I don't care if you got 8 different nations telling you it's fine to do that. The only reason why they're telling you it's fine to do that is because they don't know a God that they should fear. That is it. If they knew of God, they would know that they don't have to do that. They don't have to go along with you on the wrongdoing that you do. It's fear that's making them do that. It's a lack of God that makes them do that. We're going to die anyway. You understand what I'm saying? You're going to die someday. So don't let the fear of death bring you to a space where you have eternal death for acting as if God didn't exist and allowing devils to control your life and your circumstances. They don't have that power unless you give it to them by way of your fear, lack of faith, and the confusion about whether or not you can save yourself by allowing them to do it. You cannot. If they stay in power, they're going to kill you some other way. Know that. Know that as you live. If they don't kill you this way, they're going to kill you that way, and your ass is going to be in disgrace. Or what's coming after them is going to kill you because you're on their side and they're going to go down. One way or another, you're going to go down. Let it not be because you allowed what shouldn't go down to go down. I'm going to say something to my white brothers and sisters. I heard something. It made sense to me. They said the only reason why they were able to keep slavery going in this country is because they had the ability to appeal to a demon in a lot of white people's hearts. And that demon was, so long as I have somebody to look down on, I will spite myself to keep the ability to do that by allowing those who are looking down upon me, who look like me, to appeal to that need. So we will vote stuff in place that's going to destroy our own needs to keep our feet on those who we need to be able to look down on, to look better about ourselves. That is how slavery was able to be upheld by poor white people. Now, what I'm saying to you is you got to fight that demon if you're going to ever get those who are on your back off of it. Y'all can't think that way no more. That can't be the way you go forward. Y'all got to see that, and you got to see the bigger picture, which is you don't have nobody to look down on at all, because there's no reason to look at anybody that way. The only people you need to be looking down on are those who stand above you, who want to use you that way. They are the ones who should be beneath you, not those who are trying to get out from underneath them. As long as you allow your cousins to play you like they played you back then, you're going to continue to find yourself in the squalor that you can't pull yourself out of. As a fact, don't let them play you into being so low frequency that you will allow them to stand on your back by way of your need to stand on ours. That's how they've been able to get away with so much of what it is to garner all of their power. It's on the backs of you, allowing them to stand on the backs of all of us. Don't let it happen no more. Don't let it happen no more. It's how we got to a space where we are today. It's how we have so much deplorable history. It's why they won't acknowledge children being killed today. It's because they have to acknowledge all of that. And if they acknowledge all of that, then they have to acknowledge the fact that they were doing it to you. Standing on my back, I'm not your enemy. Those who are trying to use that for which I just described is your enemy. White supremacy is your enemy because it doesn't allow for all whites to be supreme. Understand this. It doesn't allow for all whites to be supreme. That's why it's your enemy, because it's meant to make you feel a fake strength that isn't actually backed in power or wealth, but they appeal to your demon inside that makes you want to be able to look down on others while not having enough to rise above your circumstances. That is what that is. They want you to stay poor, they want me to stay poor, and they want to stand on both our backs. If y'all would have been able to overcome that and overcome them, you would have rose to where you deserve to be. Out of the circumstances of poverty. Don't let it happen again. They've nestled us to sleep by low frequency needs, man. They do the same thing to my people. Have us want to be in these gangs, having us want to drink, have us want to shoot these guns at each other. It's always being used against us. And they're going to use you against you too if you let them going forward. But we have something new, and it's called the internet. We can communicate these things. We can say, I don't hate you. You don't have to hate me. And the only reason why they wanted you to hate me is so they can continue to use that stupidity against you. That's all it is. It's always been them. It's always been them. Same ones who are killing these kids right now. It was always them. 400 years ago, it was them. And they're agreeables. Always was. It's white supremacy that selects certain whites to be supreme, and they stand on the rest of them and don't give a damn about anything. And that, my friends, is what we're seeing every single era. They know how this works, and they continue to use it because they know it works. So the key to all of this is to not allow it to work. You get inside of yourself, overcome your inner demons. Get inside of yourself and overcome what it is that makes you feel you need to look down on people without actually having the power to represent it. If you're poor, you don't have it. And if you're stealing your way to getting rich, know that you still don't have it. Because they're going to use that against you and take back what you've taken. That's how that works. They're going to take back what you've taken and throw you where they throw you. They discarded you like they're doing these children. The only power you have is to overcome the inner demons and work with people that you otherwise don't want to work with in circumstances such as those. That is your way out. Teaming up with those that they've stamped upon and realize we're all on the same side. If they're standing on your back, you are black. Whether we want to see it that way or not. It's only a few of them. But they're going to be louder than everybody else. They're going to make changes that make it so that they define certain things a certain way that don't peel in your favor or mine. They're going to do demonstrations such as these that make you feel like it's hopeless going against them. And they're going to appeal to your need to self-preserve, to reserve the ability to continue to do it. You're going to die anyway. The only chance any of us have is to step in front of that nonsense, override what's in us that would otherwise allow them to manipulate those things, and then stand firm and understanding that nothing's going to stop us together. White, black, red, blue, whatever your color is, we got to understand who the real evil is and not allow the evil in us to appeal to the evil that is. I'm telling you right now, it's always the same thing. And if you don't understand the template from which they work, or you don't work in that energy, then you are not on their side. You may look like somebody who looks like them, you may not. But evil is its own color. It's its own color, and they all on the same side. They're not confused about who is with who. It ain't separated by color or creed or religion. They don't have no religion. They don't have no religion. They always lie about these type of things. They're going to always appeal to the need for us to see certain things as true so that we will move in the way that they want us to move, and they will manipulate that every single time. And they always have. So I tell y'all, stay prayed up, meditate, be secure in yourself, and know that your power comes from your willingness to stand up for something. And remember, time moves forward. If you don't die today, you die tomorrow. If you don't die tomorrow, you die the next day. You can't let them use that as a means of keeping their nonsense going when you know that it's going to deteriorate all of us eventually anyway. If you think they're done doing this over there in these places that they're doing it, please understand that hunger doesn't end in one place. It spreads. And it's going to take this type of mentality of understanding that all of us come together. It's a clear mind, clear spirit, and clear head. It's going to allow us to overcome what it is that they're doing. It's the only way you're going to be able to overcome what is in that otherwise meant to ruin all of us. My name is BDF 44. I thank you all for watching.